Hey Cancer, I just pulled some cards for you, and honestly, I need to share this right away because the energy coming through is absolutely beautiful. So I have my deck here, and the universe is basically shouting at you right now with the most incredible message about your future. Let me just shuffle these cards and see what wants to come through for you. Okay, so the first card I pulled is the King of Cups, and Cancer, listen to me when I say this, because this is huge for you. This card is showing me that you are stepping into this incredibly mature emotional space where you finally understand how to balance your feelings with your wisdom. You know how sometimes you feel everything so deeply that it almost drowns you? Well, that chapter is closing. The King of Cups is telling me that you are becoming this person who can feel deeply but also hold space for others without losing yourself in the process. This is about emotional mastery, and I am seeing you in situations where people come to you for guidance because you have this calm, understanding energy about you now. What I find really interesting about this card in your reading is that it is not just about romantic love, although that is definitely part of it. This is about you becoming the kind of person who can handle any emotional situation with grace and maturity. I am seeing you in your future, and you are this beacon of emotional stability for the people around you. Your relationships are going to transform because you are transforming. The way you love is evolving into something so much healthier and more sustainable. You are not going to be that person anymore who gives everything away and ends up empty. You are learning how to pour from a full cup, and that is going to change everything for you. The King of Cups is also showing me that there is someone coming into your life, or someone already in your life, who embodies these qualities, and they are going to be so good for you. This person knows how to communicate their feelings without drama. They understand emotional depth, but they also know when to step back and give space. If you are single right now, then pay attention, because this energy is coming toward you and it is going to feel like finally someone who gets it. Someone who can match your emotional depth without making it complicated or messy. I also want to mention that this card is appearing because you have done the work. You have been through some really difficult emotional experiences, and instead of becoming bitter or closed off, you chose to grow from them. The universe sees that, and this King of Cups energy is your reward for that emotional maturity you have been developing. You are going to find yourself in situations where you need to make decisions from a place of emotional wisdom, and you are going to absolutely nail it because you have earned this level of understanding. Now, the second card, and okay, this is the King of Swords and Cancer. I have to tell you, this is fascinating because you are getting both kings in this reading, which is extremely powerful. The King of Swords is all about mental clarity and making decisions based on logic and truth. For you as a Cancer, this might feel a little uncomfortable at first because you are so used to leading with your heart, but the universe is saying you need both. You need the emotional wisdom of the King of Cups and the mental clarity of the King of Swords to create the life you deserve. What I am seeing with this card is that you are going to be making some really important decisions in the near future, and you need to cut through any illusions or wishful thinking. The King of Swords does not mess around with fantasy or what you hope things could be. He deals with what actually is. And I know that might sound harsh, but Cancer, this is actually such a gift for you because how many times have you convinced yourself that something was okay when it really was not? How many times have you ignored red flags because you wanted to believe in someone or something? Those days are over. The King of Swords is giving you the ability to see situations clearly without the fog of emotions clouding your judgment. This does not mean you are becoming cold or heartless. It means you are becoming wise enough to use your head and your heart together. I am seeing you in situations where you need to have difficult conversations, and you are going to handle them with such grace and clarity. You are going to be able to speak your truth without being cruel, but also without backing down from what you know is right. This card is also telling me that you are developing a reputation for being someone who tells it like it is. People are going to start coming to you for honest advice because they know you will not sugarcoat things, but you also will not be mean about it. You have this ability now to deliver hard truths with kindness, and that is such a rare and valuable skill. In your career or whatever projects you are working on, I am seeing you stepping into leadership roles where your clear thinking and fair judgment are exactly what is needed. The King of Swords is also about education and learning. I am getting that some of you might be going back to school or diving deep into studying something that really interests you. Others might be teaching or sharing knowledge in some way. There is this intellectual expansion happening for you where you are hungry to understand things on a deeper level, and you are not satisfied with surface-level explanations anymore. Moving on to the third card, which is the World and oh my god, Cancer. This is literally one of the most beautiful cards in the entire deck. The World represents completion, fulfillment, and achievement of a major life cycle. Everything you have been working toward, everything you have been hoping for is coming to fruition. This card is telling me that you are about to step into a phase of your life where things finally make sense. All those struggles, all those lessons, all those moments where you felt like giving up, they were all leading you to this incredible place of wholeness and completion. What I love about the world appearing in your reading is that it means you are not just finishing one thing, you are completing an entire chapter of your life. Like, think about the person you were 5 years ago compared to who you are now. The growth has been massive, right? Well, the world is saying that growth is about to pay off in the most amazing ways. You are going to look around at your life and feel this deep sense of satisfaction and accomplishment because you finally made it to where you were trying to go. I am also seeing travel with this card. Some of you are going to be taking a significant trip that changes your perspective on life. Others might be connecting with people from different cultures or backgrounds. There is this expansion happening where your world is literally getting bigger. You are not going to be confined to the same small circle or the same limited thinking anymore. The universe is opening up so many possibilities for you, and you are ready to embrace them. The world is also about integration. You are bringing together all the different parts of yourself into one cohesive whole. Maybe you have felt fragmented, or like you were living different versions of yourself in different areas of your life. That is ending. You are becoming integrated and authentic in a way that feels so freeing. You do not have to pretend or hide parts of yourself anymore. You can just be, and that is enough. Actually, that is more than enough. That is everything. Another thing about the World card is that it represents recognition and success. Whatever you have been working on is going to be acknowledged. People are going to see your value and your contributions. If you have been feeling invisible or underappreciated, that is about to change dramatically. The universe is putting you in positions where your light cannot be ignored and where your talents are celebrated. Now, the fourth card is the Queen of Swords, and this is so interesting because you already got the King of Swords, so the Swords energy is really prominent in this reading. The Queen of Swords is telling me that you need to protect your peace and your energy like never before. This queen has been through some stuff, and she has learned that not everyone deserves access to her time, her energy, or her inner world. She has boundaries made of steel, and she is not apologetic about them. Cancer, I know, boundaries can be hard for you because you are naturally nurturing and you want to help everyone, but the Queen of Swords is saying enough. You need to start being more selective about who gets your energy. This card often shows up when someone has been too generous with their care and has ended up depleted. The universe is telling you to channel this queen energy and start saying no to things and people that drain you. What I find really powerful about this card is that the Queen of Swords is not mean or cold, she is just clear. She knows what she will accept and what she will not, and she communicates that directly. You are developing this ability to cut through manipulation and guilt trips with such ease. Someone tries to make you feel bad for having boundaries? The Queen of Swords just looks at them calmly and does not budge. Someone tries to gaslight you or twist your words? She sees right through it and calls it out. This card is also about independence and self-sufficiency. You are realizing that you do not need anyone to complete you or save you. You are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself and making your own decisions. This might be scary at first, especially if you have been in relationships or situations where you felt dependent on others, but Cancer, this independence is going to feel so good once you fully step into it. You are going to feel powerful and free in ways you never have before. The Queen of Swords is also telling me that you need to trust your judgment more. You have such good instincts, but sometimes you second-guess yourself or let others convince you that you are wrong. Stop doing that. Your perception is sharp and your understanding of situations is usually spot on. When something feels off, it probably is. When someone seems untrustworthy, they probably are. Start honoring your own knowing instead of talking yourself out of it. The fifth card here is Five of Swords, and okay, this one is interesting because it is a more challenging card, but it has an important message for you. The Five of Swords is about conflict and the realization that not every battle is worth fighting. I am seeing that you have been or will be in situations where you could fight and argue and try to prove your point, but the universe is asking you, is it worth it? Will winning this argument actually improve your life, or is it just going to drain your energy? What this card is showing me is that you need to pick your battles very carefully. There are some conflicts that are important to engage with because they are about protecting yourself or standing up for what is right. But there are other conflicts that are just ego-based or about being right, and those are the ones you need to walk away from. The Five of Swords is teaching you the art of strategic retreat, knowing when to disengage and preserve your peace instead of getting sucked into drama. I am also getting that some of you have been in situations where you felt like you lost or where someone got the better of you. The Five of Swords is acknowledging that yes, that happened, and yes, it sucked, but it is also saying that you learned something valuable from that experience. You learned who people really are. You learned what tactics they use. You learned what you will accept and what you will not. That knowledge is going to serve you so well moving forward because you will never let yourself be in that position again. This card can also indicate that someone around you is playing games or being manipulative. They might be trying to win at all costs, even if it means hurting you or being dishonest. The Five of Swords is warning you to see this clearly and not engage with their tactics. Do not try to fight fire with fire. Just remove yourself from the situation and let them have their hollow victory. Your peace is more important than proving anything to anyone. Another aspect of the Five of Swords is about letting go of grudges and resentment. Holding on to anger about past conflicts is only hurting you, not them. This card is encouraging you to release that heavy energy and focus on your own path forward. You do not need revenge or vindication. You just need to move on and build a better life for yourself. The sixth card I pulled is Three of Swords and Cancer. I know this card looks scary, but hear me out because the message here is actually really important for your healing and growth. The Three of Swords represents heartbreak and emotional pain, but it also represents the moment when you finally acknowledge that pain instead of trying to suppress it or pretend it does not exist. You have been hurt deeply, and the universe is saying it is okay to admit that. It is okay to grieve what you lost or what never was. What I am seeing with this card is that there has been or will be a moment of painful clarity where you see a situation for what it really is. Maybe it is recognizing that someone you loved was not who you thought they were. Maybe it is accepting that a relationship or situation is not going to work out the way you hoped. Maybe it is facing some hard truths about yourself or your choices. Whatever it is, the Three of Swords is that moment where the illusions shatter and you see reality clearly even though it hurts. But here's the thing about the Three of Swords that people often miss. This card is actually a gift because it is showing you the truth. Yes, it is painful, but it is also freeing because once you see the truth, you can start to heal for real instead of just putting band-aids on wounds that never really closed. The pain of the Three of Swords is the kind of pain that leads to genuine healing and transformation if you let it. I am also getting that some of you have been betrayed or disappointed by someone close to you. The Three of Swords acknowledges that betrayal and validates your feelings about it. You are not being too sensitive. You are not overreacting. What happened was genuinely hurtful, and you have every right to feel the way you feel about it. The universe wants you to honor your feelings and give yourself time to process and heal instead of rushing to forgive and forget. This card is also about the grief of letting go. Sometimes we have to release people or situations that we love because they are not good for us, or because the timing is wrong, or for a million other reasons. That letting go is painful even when we know it is the right thing to do. The Three of Swords is giving you permission to mourn what you are releasing without guilt or shame. Now, the seventh card is the Eight of Cups, and this is such a powerful card for you right now, Cancer. The Eight of Cups is about walking away from situations that no longer serve you even when it is hard. I am seeing you standing at a crossroads where you know in your heart that something needs to change. Maybe it is a relationship that has run its course. Maybe it is a job that is draining your soul. Maybe it is a friendship that has become toxic. Whatever it is, you know deep down that you need to walk away. What makes the Eight of Cups so challenging is that you are not walking away from something obviously bad. You are walking away from something that might look fine on the surface, but just does not fulfill you anymore. Other people might not understand your choice. They might think you are crazy for leaving something that seems perfectly adequate. But the Eight of Cups is saying that adequate is not enough. You deserve more than just okay. You deserve something that lights you up and makes you feel alive. I am seeing you gathering your courage and making the decision to leave something behind in search of something better. This is not an impulsive decision. You have thought about it carefully, and you know it is what you need to do for your own growth and happiness. The journey ahead might be uncertain, and that is scary, but staying in a situation that makes you feel empty is even scarier in the long run. The Eight of Cups is also about spiritual and emotional growth. You are outgrowing certain things and certain people, and that is completely natural and healthy. Just because something was right for you at one point does not mean it has to be right for you forever. You are allowed to evolve and change and seek out experiences and relationships that match who you are becoming, not who you used to be. This card is also encouraging you to trust yourself and your inner guidance. You have this feeling that you need to move on, and that feeling is valid even if you cannot fully articulate why or even if it does not make logical sense to others. Your soul knows what it needs, and the Eight of Cups is saying, listen to that inner wisdom and have the courage to follow it. The eighth card is Nine of Swords, and, okay, Cancer, this card is about anxiety and worry, and I'm getting that you have been dealing with a lot of mental stress lately. The Nine of Swords shows up when someone is lying awake at night, overthinking and catastrophizing about everything that could go wrong. You have been trapped in your own head, replaying conversations, analyzing situations, and worrying about the future. Here is what the universe wants you to know about this card, though. The things you are worrying about are mostly not real. They are fears and worst-case scenarios that your mind has created, but they are not what is actually happening or what is going to happen. The Nine of Swords is asking you to challenge these anxious thoughts instead of accepting them as truth. When you find yourself spiraling, ask yourself, is this actually true or is this just my anxiety talking? I am also getting that you need to find healthier ways to process your stress and worry. Maybe that is therapy or meditation or journaling or talking to trusted friends. Whatever it is, you cannot keep holding all this anxiety inside because it is affecting your sleep, your health, and your ability to enjoy your life. The Nine of Swords is a wake-up call to take your mental health seriously and get support if you need it. This card can also indicate that you are being too hard on yourself. You are replaying your mistakes and beating yourself up for things you cannot change. The Nine of Swords is saying you need to practice self-compassion and forgiveness. You are human. You are allowed to make mistakes and have regrets. What matters is that you learn from them and try to do better moving forward, not that you torture yourself endlessly about the past. Another message from the Nine of Swords is that things are not as bad as they seem in your darkest moments. When you are anxious and stressed, everything feels overwhelming and hopeless, but that is not an accurate picture of reality. The situation you are in has solutions and possibilities that you cannot see clearly when you are in that anxious state. Take some deep breaths, step back, and try to look at things from a calmer, more grounded perspective. The ninth card is Eight of Swords, and this is really significant, Cancer, because this card is about feeling trapped or stuck. But here is the key. The bonds that are holding you are mostly self-imposed. I am seeing you in a situation where you feel like you have no options or no way out, but the Eight of Swords is showing me that you actually have more freedom than you realize. The limitations you are experiencing are partly real, but they are also partly in your mind. What this card is telling me is that you have been accepting circumstances that you do not actually have to accept. Maybe you have convinced yourself that you cannot leave a bad situation because of money or fear or obligation. Maybe you think you have to stay in relationships or jobs that make you miserable because you do not have other options. But the Eight of Swords is saying that is not true. You have more power and more choices than you think you do. I am seeing that fear is a big part of what is keeping you stuck. You are afraid of what might happen if you make a change. You are afraid of the unknown and afraid of making the wrong decision, so you stay in situations that feel safe even though they are also suffocating. The Eight of Swords is asking you, what is the worst that could happen if you tried something different, and is that worse than staying where you are? This card is also about mental restrictions and limiting beliefs. You have told yourself certain stories about what you can and cannot do, about what you deserve and do not deserve, and those stories have become your reality. The Eight of Swords is challenging you to question those beliefs and ask yourself, are they actually true or are they just things you have accepted without examining them? The good news about the Eight of Swords is that the moment you realize the bonds are not as tight as you thought, the moment you start questioning your limitations, you can begin to free yourself. This is about changing your mindset and recognizing that you have more agency than you have been giving yourself credit for. You are not as powerless or as trapped as you feel. The 10th and final card in this reading is Nine of Swords. Wait, no, I already did that one. Let me check my cards again. Okay, the last card is the Page of Cups, and this is such a sweet, hopeful card to end on, Cancer. The Page of Cups is about new beginnings in the emotional realm. This could be a new relationship, a creative project that excites you, or just a renewed sense of joy and wonder about life. What I love about the Page of Cups is that this energy is so open and curious and playful. After all the heavy cards we have looked at, the Page of Cups is saying there is still magic and beauty and possibility in the world. You are not too jaded or too hurt to experience joy again. Your heart is healing and opening up to new experiences, and that is such a beautiful thing. I am seeing that someone might be coming into your life who has this Page of Cups energy. They could be younger than you or just young at heart. They are going to bring a freshness and lightness that you really need right now. They might not be the most mature or experienced person, but they are genuine, and their feelings for you are real and sweet. If you are single, keep your heart open because this person could surprise you in the best way. The Page of Cups is also about creative expression and following your inspiration. Maybe you have been wanting to try something artistic or creative, but you have been holding back because you did not think you were good enough or because it seemed silly. The Page of Cups is saying go for it. Do the thing that makes your heart happy, even if it does not make sense to anyone else. This is about reconnecting with the parts of yourself that are playful and imaginative and free. This card can also represent a message or news that is going to make you happy. Maybe it is hearing from someone you care about or getting good news about something you have been hoping for. The Page of Cups brings gentle, positive energy and pleasant surprises. Something is going to happen that reminds you that good things still exist and that you deserve to experience them. So, Cancer, let me just take a moment to recap what we have seen in this reading because, wow, there is so much here for you. You have two kings showing up, which tells me you are stepping into serious leadership and mastery, both emotionally and mentally. You have the World telling you that a major life cycle is completing and you are moving into a phase of fulfillment and achievement. You have the Queens and Pages showing different aspects of feminine energy and emotional development. But you also have the challenging Swords cards, the 3, the 5, the 8, and the 9 that are all pointing to mental and emotional struggles you are working through. The message I am getting is that you are in a transition period. You are leaving behind old patterns and painful situations represented by the 8 of Cups and moving towards something much better represented by the World and the Page of Cups. The universe is telling you that yes, it has been hard, and yes, you have been hurt, and yes, you have worried and stressed and felt trapped, but you are coming out of it. You are developing the wisdom and the strength and the clarity you need to create a completely different life for yourself. The success, prosperity, and love that are destined for you are not just going to fall into your lap, though. You have to be willing to do the work to walk away from what is not serving you, to face hard truths, and to trust yourself even when it is scary. God is blessing you, Cancer, not just with good things, but with the strength and wisdom to handle those good things when they arrive. You are being prepared for a level of happiness and success that requires you to be emotionally mature, mentally clear, and spiritually grounded. All of these cards are part of that preparation process. The reading is showing me that you are on the right path, even when it does not feel like it. Every challenge you are facing is teaching you something important. Every ending is making space for something better. You are exactly where you need to be, and everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. I want you to remember that the universe has your back, Cancer. You are so loved and so supported even in moments when you feel alone. Trust the journey, trust yourself, and know that amazing things are coming for you because you have earned them through your growth and your courage and your willingness to keep your heart open even after it has been broken. You are going to have such a great time, Cancer. The life you are building is going to exceed your expectations in the best possible ways. Stay strong, keep growing, and get ready because your blessings are on their way.